just want to know, how many times have you had a vision and you allow other people's opinions or thoughts or fear of judgment to stop you from making that step? How many times did you say, you know what, I got a business idea, but dang, nobody's backing me, so maybe it is stupid. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe people gonna talk about me. Maybe people gonna be like, oh, what is she doing? You want to do a YouTube channel, but you're too afraid to be seen. You're too afraid that your family and friends will find it and judge you. How many times have you allowed that to stop you from being great? Stop you from pursuing your goals? Stop you from pursuing your vision? What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about doing it for yourself, okay? And what that means is owning your life, taking hold of your dreams, your goals, your vision. I feel like in life, so many times the world writes our story, right? Like culture writes our stories. Our parents, our friends, our family, they have these set expectations on us and they write our story and we allow them to. And we end up living it out, completely forgetting about ourselves, what we need for our lives, what we want for our lives. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to take your life back and do it for yourself. I feel like if you're anything like me, I have definitely been one to struggle with the idea of constantly putting everybody else before myself. Everybody's needs go before me. Everybody's vision go before me. I found myself working a 9-to-5 to complete somebody else's dream and invest nothing into my dream. But I am going to challenge you in this video to take your power back. The world is full of voices. What you should do, what you shouldn't do, how you should do it, and all that and above. Okay, so first and foremost, let's go ahead and go through these steps that I have for you. Step number one is to know your why. If you don't know your why, then nothing else matters. Nothing else can get done because your why is what makes the biggest difference between, will I actually pursue this when it gets hard, or will I fold as soon as it gets hard? If you don't know your why, you have no idea why, you have no idea what you're doing or why you're doing it, then honestly, you are already setting yourself up for failure. So first and foremost, you have to know your why. What is the fuel to this? And like I said, your why is the difference between, boom, I fail, but I'm gonna get back up again because that why is so powerful and it's fueling me, or boom, I fail and I'm done. Right? That is the difference. That's why it's so important to know your why. If you don't know your why, it makes sense why somebody else can come in front of you and say, here's your vision, and you take it and you run with it. Okay, so I'm telling you, know your why. Know why you want to pursue this, why you want to go this route, why this path is for you. Step number two, so crucial, and is stop seeking approval from others. Everybody's not going to have your dream. Everybody's not going to have your vision. Everybody's not going to have your idea. And everybody's not going to understand your dream, your vision, or your idea. And don't expect them to. We got to stop seeking the world for validation. I'm going to be honest. I have definitely been one, going to everybody else, spilling my dream out, hoping that they understand because I'm so fired up. So obviously they have to be fired up too, just to get let down. And they be like, girl, that ain't realistic. And then I'm sitting there like, what? And when your why isn't strong enough, going back to that point, that's when you go, okay, maybe you're right. Boom, I'm done. So you didn't start that business that you were supposed to start. So you didn't go to school like you said you were going to do. So you didn't start your YouTube channel. So you didn't do whatever it is you set out to do because, one, you're seeking approval and your why isn't strong enough to keep the fuel on the fire, right? And so this is why it is so important to not seek approval from others. I just want to know, how many times have you had a vision and you allow other people's opinions or thoughts or fear of judgment to stop you from making that step? How many times did you say, you know what, I got a business idea, but dang, nobody's backing me, so maybe it is stupid. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe people gonna talk about me. Maybe people gonna be like, oh, what is she doing? You want to do a YouTube channel, but you're too afraid to be seen. You're too afraid that your family and friends will find it and judge you. How many times have you allowed that to stop you from being great? Stop you from pursuing your goals? Stop you from pursuing your vision? The truth is, no one else is living your life. This is where you really have to take ownership of your life. No one else is living your life. At the end of the day, they don't have to live with the consequences of not pursuing your dream. You do. They don't have to live with the consequences of not being the best version of yourself. You do. They don't have to live with the disappointment that you face when you feel that way. They don't have to live with the voices in your head that saying you should have did that, but you didn't. At the end of the day, you have to live with the consequences of what you do and don't do, not them. When you allow other people to dictate your life, you give them power over your life. But when you start to live your life for you and start to do it for yourself and start to realize, you know what, this is my vision, my goal. You don't have to understand. I don't need your approval nor validation. That's when you take your power back, right? That's when you have it back in your hands and you can do what you will with it. Tip number 3, embrace the journeys, flaws and all. Everything. Embrace it all. Okay? Embrace it all. We live in a world that embraces microwave success, right? Instant transformation, instant gratification. That's the world we live in. That's not going to change. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to get worse, right? But that is the world we live in. We can't change that. But at the end of the day, we live in a world that looks at failure and look at, if this doesn't work today, then I'm done. I'm doing this. We have to get out of that mindset. We have to get out. Let me just say, I am definitely guilty of this one. I'm guilty of this one because so many times I have, okay, I'm gonna do YouTube. I really want to do YouTube. I really want to encourage people. I want to speak into their lives. I want to do YouTube. And I get on this platform and I'm not seeing the numbers that I want to see. I'm not seeing the growth that I want to see. I'm not seeing the engagement that I want to see. And I go, okay, maybe I'm not good at it. Maybe no one wants to hear me. Maybe I'm not impacting anybody. Maybe I'm not good at this. Maybe I need to just do something else. And I will immediately go into this mindset. Or maybe it's too overly saturated. There's a million other YouTubers doing what I'm doing, trying to do what I'm doing, like already successful. They probably don't need another one. Right? So here I am talking myself through this, talking myself out of this is what I'm doing. Right? And looking for this instant success, looking for, okay, boom, my video hit and I went viral. One video in. But the truth of the matter is that's not realistic. And plus the growth, the change, the growth, change, and the magic truly happens on the journey, not the destination. And I think that's where people get lost. They get lost in the destination, right? This is where I want to end up. And this is all I can see. Nothing else matters. But the growth, the journey, the character building, it happens on the actual, the growth happens on the journey, not the destination. And I think this is where people get mixed up. And this is where I have definitely got mixed up. I have been like, you know what? Like not finding joy in the journey. And that right there, this is why I keep going back to that why, because that why is so important. But this is why that why is so important, because it reminds me of the importance of the journey. It reminds me of the one person I may touch, or the 2 people I may encourage, or maybe the 3 people I may encourage. Maybe it's not thousands, and that's okay. But even if one person got something, boom, I'm cool. And even if it was a complete bust and nobody got nothing from it, oh well, that's okay too. Like that taught me a lesson. What lesson did I just learn from that? See, growth isn't perfection. Growth is progress. And that's one thing that I have been taking to heart lately, that it's not perfection. And me, I am a perfectionist. And so I get wrapped up into the perfectionist mindset. Everything has to be perfect. And that has stopped me also from living my truth, living my life, doing what I feel like I'm called to do. That has stopped me because it needs to be perfect. It needs to look this way. It needs to be this way. It needs to go this way. But the truth of the matter is, it is not perfection that I need, is progress. And that's what you need, progress, not perfection. Tip number 4, take ownership of your life. So I know I mentioned this a couple times just now. You have to take ownership of your life. Doing it for yourself means that you're taking ownership, means that you now own this. It is yours. This means accepting the responsibility of your choices and your actions and not blaming it on anybody else. Because it's so easy for us to blame it on circumstances. It's so easy to blame it on people, relationships, whatever is around you that distracts you. It is so easy to do it because I have been there. I remember when I was trying to lose weight, it was never the right time. Okay, I was starting Monday. And then I was starting the next Monday. Then I was starting the next Monday. And then finally I'll start and then I'll mess up at lunch and eat something, eat a bag of chips or something. And I'm like, I did a cheat thing. I might as well just cheat the rest of this day. I'll start again tomorrow. Tuesday come and I'm like, who starts a diet on a Tuesday? Monday. Next thing you know, the whole week is gone and a year has passed and every Monday has, it's been a year of Mondays. that's what it's been. Like, and so, and that didn't stop until the moment I said there will never be a right time. There will never be a moment where I truly, really am just hyped up. At the end of the day, I need this. My body needs this. My mind needs this. Reality is, every part of me needs this. Even if I want to eat what I want to eat, my body says I need something else. And so it wasn't until that moment that I said, you know what, forget it. There'll never be a right time. I felt the same way with YouTube. I felt like, you know what, I don't have perfect equipment. I don't have the perfect this. I don't have the perfect that. I don't have this. I need this to look like this. I need this to be perfect. And the reality of it is, once again, it never happened. I never got the perfect everything. It never happened. There will never be a perfect time to do anything. And I think this is where we have to let that idea of perfection go. The real power comes when you realize that you have the ability to change your circumstances and change your situation. You have that ability. The best thing, one of the best things, because God has given us a lot of great things, but one of the best things that God has given us is the power of choice. Every single choice you make will lead you one way or another. It's going to lead you towards your goal, away from your goal, towards your goal, away from your goal. That is your choice to make, though. When you are in the bed in the morning and you're like, dang, do I get up and go to the gym, or do I lay here? Do I get up and record, or do I lay here? Those are all choices that you're making for your future, and it's time for you to own that. No excuses. No excuses, and own that. This is all on me. It's not about circumstances. Yes, life be lifing. I get it. Something sad happened. I get it. Something happened over here. Finances ain't right. This ain't right. That ain't right. I understand, because we all get it. At the end of the day, being lazy, I heard this quote the other day and it stuck with me like crazy. Being lazy is such a privilege. Everybody don't have that privilege. Everybody don't have the privilege to lay in bed when they don't feel like doing something. Okay, that's a privilege that you have that everybody else does not have. So the reality of it is, you have the choice to say, you know what, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do this whether I feel like it or not, or I'm gonna lay here and I'm gonna do this whether I feel like it or not. And that's a choice that you make. But just own that each and every choice that you make gets you closer or farther away from your goal. And it is time for you to step into that, own that, and take that and accept that. My biggest advice when it comes to this tip is going to be, do not be a passive participant in your own life. Okay, do not, okay? I'm telling you, and I'm telling you from experience, especially because I have done this. I have been a standard buyer, just sitting there like, yeah, well, I'll go wherever the wind blow me. Oh, you need me? Okay, I'm here. Oh, you need me? Oh, I'm here. Never saying no to anybody except for myself. Once I learned that that was the biggest hindrance to myself, honey, you can tell me. I was ready. No. I would practice in the mirror. No. And let me just say, no is a complete sentence. It is okay to say no. Now, don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. At times, I still struggle with this. This is something that I still go, okay, every now and then I have to remind myself that no is a complete sentence, and I don't have to explain myself. Every now and then I have to remind myself, you said you was going to do this for yourself. You need to do this for yourself. Every now and then I have to remind myself that if my cup is empty, that I can't give to nobody else. And for me personally, I've struggled because I felt like I had to question, am I being selfish? Is this a selfish thing of me by saying no? And I realized it is not a selfish thing. Once again, if my cup is completely empty, honey, who am I pouring to? What am I pouring out? I have nothing. So you have to prioritize yourself. And that means taking ownership of your life, period. My last and final tip for this video is going to be celebrate your small wins. Celebrate. I don't care how small they are, how micro you think they are. They're not a big deal. Celebrate your wins. Too often we focus on what we haven't done yet, what we haven't achieved yet. We focus on what we still haven't gotten to. We focus so much on that, but we miss the small wins. Okay, great. Like, you got one task done today. You got 2 tasks done today. You got a task done today. That's a big thing. You're still working towards your goal. You took a step towards your goal. You finished something that you set out to finish. One thing that I think is super important to understand is that success is not always just reaching the finish line, right? And success is progress, seeing the progress that you made, right, along the way, looking and going, okay, I'm moving, okay, I'm working towards that finish line, one step at a time, one step at a time, one foot in front of the other at a time. This is what it takes to win the race. This is what it takes to finish the race, right? Is one step at a time. So celebrate those small wins. And not only is it good to celebrate those small wins so that you can, appreciate your journey, but also celebrate those small wins because they build confidence and competence in yourself. The moment you stop to appreciate what you have done, you reinforce the belief that you can do it, right? That's what you're doing. You're like, whoa, I did that. Wait, I did that. I can do that, right? It takes that sometimes for you to get there, but it reinforces the belief in yourself. And you need that. You need that belief in yourself, especially if you're going to take ownership of your life and realize, I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I want this for my life. Nobody else. I want this for me. And so take ownership of your life. Celebrate your small wins. Give yourself credit where credit is due. Period. So those are my 5 tips that I have for you today on this video. I hope this video helped somebody. If it did, please leave it down in the comments below. Like this video and definitely subscribe because this is the type of content I'm all about: self-growth, development, and being the best version of yourself, being the best hurt you can be, okay?